Criminal defense attorney Silva Megerditchian. Thank you so much, Silva, for being with both of us today. So how do you think he's doing with his testimony and trying to really state what he found, but also support the prosecution's theory that she started this fire?
First of all, Judge Ashley and Matt, always a pleasure, and thank you for having me on. I adore you guys. Okay, defense attorney Silva's a little bored. I gotta tell you, the testimony's a little thick. I understand the prosecution needs to prove their case and they need to establish a 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern, but this is relentless. I don't necessarily think the testimony itself is hurting her yet, because we still want to see the direct nexus, right? We know that he smelled like that accelerant. We know that she didn't. But there's a little bit of, we know the place is on fire. We know the roof collapsed. We know of the damages and how severe it was. But I think what we're all chomping at the bit is a direct link between the two, right? I just think this testimony is a little thick. If I'm the juror, I'm kind of thinking about what I'm going to have for dinner more so than being enthralled by the testimony. And Judge Ashley, you know as well as I do, right? We see this with a lot of experts. They're not as enthralling or interesting. And I feel like there's a little bit of that right now.
And I still feel like, and we mentioned this earlier, is that it should have started with the question, did you identify the origin of the fire? Yes. And then start back at the beginning so they know exactly the point of the testimony.
Well, you know, maybe that goes to trial experience like you were talking about earlier, and I'm sure Silva would agree. It's you go in with a plan, you pre-interview your witnesses, and this witness is for this purpose. And I don't necessarily know if we're there yet. But when it comes to the defense case, say this guy really is a bombshell witness, do you turn it into a battle of the experts? Do you expect an expert of fire to be in the defense case?
Oh my gosh, absolutely, Matt. I mean, this will be a battle of the experts, and jurors need that. You just can't put one person's perspective. In most cases, the opinions are what drive the decision of the jury. And in this case especially, the defense has to put an equal when it comes to qualifications and expertise. And honestly, what is going to be the opinion of exactly how this started? It is going to differ from the prosecution. And I think it's, and Judge Ashley, it's exactly what you said. We are trained, you know, I was a public defender for many years in Los Angeles County. We were trained when we're in trial, don't lose your jury, start with the bang. Start with the image or the testimony that's going to stay in the jurors' minds to lead them through the boring stuff. And we see this a lot with DNA evidence. I think that, again, is so imperative. And I'm hoping the defense is going to be a lot more pinpointing in their expert testimony and, oh my gosh, prep their witnesses to really be efficient and interesting, right?
Yes.
It's like trial prep 101.
Yeah, prepping your witnesses. We talked about this too. I'm not convinced that they prepared them well, gave them their statements to review, to refresh the recollection before they took the stand. They didn't do those things. They need Silva on the team. Is right. Just really quickly, let me ask you this, Silva. How do you think overall the state's doing? I don't see that they've yet proven that she did this.
Not yet. I think, you know, I feel like there's a little... The feeling I got, Judge Ashley, is there's a little bit of a cockiness or an arrogance in their case, where I think they firmly believe she's it, it's done, we don't have to try too hard. It's that kind of false level of confidence. That's what
And we just lost Silva, but we get her point.
Absolutely.
I think we're all feeling it. All right, we're going to reconnect with her. We're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we're going to pivot to another murder case of Mia Campos out of the state of Georgia.